Hi there, my name is Justin Ross and this is Complit. Have you ever wanted to be able to fly in the DeLorean or an X-Wing? Well, in the book Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, you can do that and so much more. Imagine flying in the DeLorean while listening to Wake Me Up by Wham, while having a proton pack on your back and a lightsaber in your hand while looking and sounding like Indiana Jones. Does that sound awesome? Why, yes. Yes, it does. And it's all possible with the Oasis console. The Oasis console is the center of the book and plot. The book is set in 2024 in a dystopian future where the natural resources are depleted and the aftermath of wars have been left. But there is a game designer named James Halliday who creates the game that allows you to escape to a different world. He is like Steve Jobs if Steve Jobs was cooler. He has passed away and leaves all of his money to a lucky winner. All they have to do is find the 3 keys and the 3 gates to win the money. Pass the third gate, and you have over $200 million. Wade Watts is the main character, and he stumbles upon the first clue to finding the first key. He finds himself in a realm of spotlight, press, and the not-so-good assassination attempts. Now he is on, trying to be the first to find the winnings and the gates. While trying to find the winnings, some conflicts arise. There are 3 major conflicts in the book that come from the contest and are also just there. The first is the imminent threat of the IOI taking control of the Oasis. The IOI stands for Innovative Online Industries. All you need to know is 1, they are bad guys, and 2, they want to take control of the Oasis and make it not free. See? Bad guys. The second major conflict is the struggle of living and dealing with the real world. The crazy thing is that we deal with this in the real world on a daily basis. But in the book, people are just too lazy to make a change because they can just put on goggles and escape to a different world. The final conflict is finding yourself and who you are. This is a big deal because you can change your appearance in the Oasis. When I say your appearance, I mean every detail. I mean face, eyebrows, mouth, race, gender, hair color, heck, even if you're human. It's like today with social media or dating. You don't really know who someone is until you meet them in person. It's especially hard when you're acting and being someone else in an entirely different new world. It's hard to know who you really are in the real world. The meaning of the book is reality is better than fantasy. Now, yes, I know that like 99.999% of anybody and anything will say that fantasy is better. That may even be true for this book. But the book is trying to show that even though as good as fantasy may be, it's still just a fantasy. To quote James Halliday, as terrifying and as painful as reality can be, it is also the only place where you can find true happiness because reality is real. Halliday sums it up perfectly because even though as sucky as the world is and it's our world, but the world is real. And there is a stat that shows that 4 out of 4,000 people, 42% of them play video games 3 hours a day. That's almost half the people surveyed, almost 2,000 people. Now scale that up to the US, and that is 161,500,000 people. I mean, that's just a little over the population of Russia. Russia, people! And spending 3 hours a day on video games. That's over 1,000 hours. That's like watching the movie Back to the Future exactly 547.5 times. That's a lot of time spent in a virtual world. That might not seem like a lot because that is only 45 days out of the year, but that is right now. Just imagine our future, and that's all due to our laziness. When we talked in class about what contemporary literature was, one thing that we talked about was laziness. We live in an era where we expect things to be given to us, from opportunities to money to literally anything. Even if we don't have to work towards it, we expect it to be much easier for us. We are just lazy to go into the real world because instead we can just sit on the couch and escape through movies, video games, or in this day and age, virtual reality. The same can be said for about the book Ready Player One. The world is even worse, and instead of people getting up and doing something, they can just go sit on the couch and escape. When they escape, it's real to them. It's as real as them thinking that what is in there is the real world and what's out here is the fantasy world. If we continue on that kind of path, our world will become exactly like that. Well, already more than it is. But that is why the book is connected to contemporary literature, because we identify contemporary literature with laziness, and one of the major plot points in the book is making a comment about society as a whole in their laziness. This is a big deal in the book, because One of the major conflicts, the struggle of living and dealing with the real world. This connects perfectly with laziness because no one wants to get up and deal with reality. They can just chill and be someone else in a different, better world. Halliday himself says it best at the end of the book when he and Parzival are talking. Only place where you can find true happiness because reality is real. I know I'm repeating myself because I have said it earlier, but he said it perfectly. The only place, and I mean the only place you can truly find true happiness, whether it be love, money, a job, anything, it can be only found in the real world. Another conflict that come up in the book was finding yourself, and this ties perfectly into what we were just talking about. Because when you're in the Oasis, someone sitting next to you, you legitimately don't know if they are a guy or a girl, what race or sexuality they are. There's a big issue in the book when the best friends Parzival and H meet in real life. Both of them are males in the Oasis, but H is a 18-year-old heavyset African-American female in real life. Yeah, it was a shocker for Parzival. Another shocker is when the IOI, and specifically Sorrento, are willing to murder people to win the game. Yeah, I know. When people say, I'm going to kill you, when, they kill you in a game to get to a whole new level, yeah, that takes that saying to a definite new level. Sorrento is willing and does actually kill people to win the game. He and Parzival have a meeting where Sorrento tries to bribe Parzival into helping him. It then turns into a threat and eventually a bomb goes off. Luckily, he was in a trailer that went boom, but still, sometimes people are just willing to do things to achieve a goal that they may think is right, but is actually unjust. Again, I will ask you, is flying the Millennium Falcon or the USS Enterprise a really cool thing? Because it's possible in the book Ready Player One, but having that and much more comes at a cost. Is that cost worth it to you?